And in our top business story, private sector companies in Dubai experienced a drop in growth in October compared to the previous month, signaling the slowest rate of expansion since April 2016, according to Emirates NBD's latest economy tracker index. The index declined to 53.3 in October from 55.1 in September, despite several previous months of improved business conditions. Emirates NBD said that business activity and output continue to rise at a robust rate, with this sub-index standing at 57.9 last month. However, while this well above the no-change 50.0 level, it is lower than the 60.7 average recorded in the third quarter of the year. New work also increased at the slowest rate in 6 months, with this sub-index at 55.4, according to the bank. Despite slower growth in new work and output, private sector firms in Dubai were more optimistic on average in October, with the business expectations index standing at 75.8, the highest reading since June 2015. This latest tracker showed that employment was marginally lower in October, with firms citing pressure on margins and more cautious hiring policies. Meanwhile, average output prices fell at the fastest rate since February, although input costs were broadly unchanged for the second month in a row. The bank said that the slowdown was evident across all main industry sectors in Dubai last month. Emirates Airline has reported a 75% drop in net profit in the first half of the 2016-17 financial year, which has been attributed to economic uncertainty and subdued travel demand. The airline's net profit was 786 million dirhams, down 75% from the same period last year, when Emirates reported one of its best half-year performances. Revenue, including other operating income, was 41.9 billion dirhams and was down by 1% compared with 42.3 billion dirhams in the first half of last year. The airline's operating costs grew by 5% against an overall capacity increase of 9%. On average, fuel costs were 10% lower compared to the same period last year, according to the half-year financial statement. Fuel, however, remained the largest component of the airline's costs, accounting for 24% of operating costs, compared with 28% in the first 6 months of last year. Overall capacity, measured in available seat kilometers, rose by 9% to 30.2 billion available ton kilometers during the first 6 months. Emirates also reported a 9% increase in passengers compared to last year, up to 28 million passengers between 1st April and 30th September. The volume of cargo remained stable at 1.3 million tons. The airline has attributed the drop in profit and revenues to the unaffordable currency environment and increased competition, resulting in lower average fares. In particular, it was impacted by currency devaluation and hard currency shortage in some African countries, as well as dampened travel demand due to ongoing economic uncertainty and security concerns across several markets in its network. Aldar Properties, Abu Dhabi's biggest publicly traded real estate company, said its net profit in the third quarter increased by about 16% amid high occupancy rates at Yas Mall and across its office and residential properties. The company also said that it sold 1 billion dirhams of property off plan, meaning that buyers booked properties from the drawing board and will by and large pay in installments until it is completed. Net income for the 3 months to the end of September rose to 737 million dirhams from 638 million dirhams in the same period last year, while revenues rose by 61% year-on-year in the third quarter of 1.9 billion dirhams. Yas Mall, the company's flagship rental property, had a 96% occupancy rate in the third quarter, while its residential portfolio rate stood at 94%. Its office portfolio occupancy was 95%. The buoyant results and sales come amid a slowdown in demand for property, both rental and sales, amid the oil price lull that has led an economic slowdown and job losses. Organized by the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Global Business Forum on Latin America kicked off in Dubai earlier today under the theme Shifting Synergies. According to the organizers, the forum aims to provide an integrated and supportive platform for future projects through channeling efforts and ideas towards the development of the business. The Global Business Forum on Latin America is focusing on investment prospects within competitive sectors. Attendees, who include presidents, ministers, and international experts, will use the sessions at the conference to identify ways to strengthen cooperation, trade, and investment opportunities between Latin America markets and the Middle East. The forum will also discuss how business can benefit from the changing patterns of global demand and the role that Dubai can play in facilitating the next step in business relations between the two sides.
Dubai and UAE has historically been a land that creates opportunities and connects the world. While some people brag about building walls, we strive to open doors and build bridges with the rest of the world, because we strive to encourage the dialogue of civilizations and not the clash of civilizations. And trade is one area where people could meet, could discuss, could try to improve each other's lives through cooperation and through assistance. South America or Central America or Latin America in general is a very important region for UAE. You know that we import 90% of our food requirements. And a country such as Argentina, for example, they can produce 20 times their population's requirements. The trading between Dubai and Latin America stands at about $17.5 billion right now, which is about a 26% since about 5 or 6 years ago. It's a growth, but insufficient. I think there is a potential for a lot more.
Ahead of the forum, the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry had commissioned the Economists Intelligence Unit to conduct an economic study on the Latin American region. The study explored measures implemented by the governments of the region to restructure their economies and increase their competitiveness. The report points to two key strategies. The first is infrastructure development to improve internal transport links and facilitate trade, capitalizing on the importance of exports as a component of GDP growth. The second strategy deals with encouraging private consumption by expanding the offerings of the services sector, as raising government consumption will prove challenging in this fiscal climate.
Paraguay is in the heart of South America, so we have access to a huge markets in South America, not only Brazil, Argentina, Peru, the Pacific Alliance. So we are now receiving a lot of investment through outside the region, using Paraguay as a platform for the rest of the continent. So Paraguay is benefiting from trade agreements within Mercosur. So we have seen investment from outside of our region investing in Paraguay, doing light manufacturing, so they can access markets like Brazil, Argentina, and the rest of South America.
Even Latin America and the Arab countries, we are geographically very far. We have a lot of matches to do, especially in economics. Investment and trade, and also tourism. About the investment, we have already a lot of investment from UAE in Colombia, more than we think. And we also have been working in some economical treatments to improve this situation we have now. Like the agreement for investment protection, which is very important, and also about air transport service agreement. That's another agreement we already have. Latin America is still an unknown area for most of GCC. The only way to know countries and continents is going there. So encouraging people to go there, even for vacation, then they will get the feel of what's happening in that country, if it's a secure country, if they have a lot of opportunities, and they will discover lot of opportunities that they didn't even think about them before. So the main advice will be to go there.